Okay, so here we have the RS62, some basic tuning tips for that board. So here we are on the slalom program. So this board's recommended fin will be 32, 33 centimeters. For people who own more than one size of that board, pretty much the setting of the mast base will be always the same once you find it. So for the mast base, I would suggest that everyone puts it always in the center, right in the center of the box. You will be around 132 from the axe to the tail of the board. That's going to be pretty much the standard for trying and testing the board for the first time, knowing that in offshore wind conditions are always a little bit easier. Water is a bit flatter. So people can start, if they find they are missing a little bit of track or the board is touching a little bit too much, they can easily put the mast base starting 1 cm further back, like this. By doing so, you will get more power on your legs, the rig will stand a bit more straight up, and the boat will be a bit more free. But if the wind is onshore and getting pretty rough, you will have lift all the time. So you are trying to get control rather than have a board very free. So you will tend to go the opposite direction, starting with 1 cm forward, just to put the nose down. And as the water is always more rough, and this rough water are creating a lot of lift on the board, and therefore it's better to put the mast rack a bit forward. Like this, you have a bit more distance between the base and your front foot, which will give you better leverage. Now about setup, we have the mast base, which is pretty much set up. The fin, 32, 33, depends again what kind of conditions you have. Also your weight. Heavier guys will prefer to have a little bit of a bigger fin. Lighter guys that want to have a board like this and sailing in even 20 knots, they could also keep the 33 because that's going to be pretty much their light wind boards. And then the wind gets a bit stronger, a bit more rough. 32 is going to be the right fin as well. For the full strap setting, I would suggest that people always start with a front insert, so as far forward as possible. And then you will see, depending on your size, between this insert and this insert, you will be around 44 cm span between the two legs. That's quite much, but it also gives a lot of control. So depending on your style, some people really like either the center of gravity very low, or they are really let the boat flies and they want to ride very high on the fin. So when people ride very high on the fin, it means they don't put so much pressure on the board itself. They use more the upper body. So having the foot strap more far apart will be quite easy for them. People who want to are sailing a lot on the legs, a lot on the hips, they can have a little bit less span because they have the power very low. And from there, you will be able to tune. So once you see my front foot strap have a lot of control, it's pretty good. If you feel like your board is a little bit sticky, but you don't feel like it's your mast base that is wrong, this one you can move back 1 cm. Moving back 1 cm, your span will be a little bit less, and you will get straight away a little bit more power on the fin, and the board will be a bit more alive on the water too. So that's about it for the setup. But now this board is offering different setup for the back foot strap. So the back foot strap, when you put it outside, you will be pretty much almost in line with the front insert. When you are like this, it's easy for an expert sailor, and you will get full power out of the board all the time. So what it means is you will have to go for it. You have to be engaged at all time. Expert sailors, not a problem for them. They also manage to put easy the back foot in the foot straps, but some sailors will find a bit complicated to put the back foot in the foot strap. They would like to shield out a little bit when the wind gets strong. So for this, you can have another option using the two inserts. Remove the screws. Board is delivered with 2 extra screws. You put it right in the middle, and this it becomes a lot easier to handle the board in strong wind. So it means that the board, you won't have the heel pushing so much on the rail, and you will be able to sheet out with the sail a lot easier because your foot will stand a little bit more flat on the board. And again, if it's not enough, when it's getting really a bit wild and you want to have a ride that is super easy, maybe you go on a long distance track where it's very broad reach, then you go all the way inside, and all the way inside it's going to be almost like a free ride stand, which doesn't mean the board is slower, it means you have a lot more control. Not only you have more control, but it's also extremely easy to engage the foot in the foot straps, even when conditions are rough. So this board offers all kinds of different positions that clearly you can test it and you will see a huge difference every time. Outside full power, inside you can depower the board because the foot will be a lot more flat on the deck, and that will allow you also to stand more straight on the board and sheet out with the sail to get control. This board is also coming with a shock absorber. Exocet brings a shock absorber for over 20 years. I created those on my prototype boards a long time ago to have comfort, and especially in the rough sea to be able to ride not only on the back foot but also on the front foot. So the shock absorber is pretty much an ellipse like this, and in the middle you will have a material that is super soft to absorb vibration and to keep you in comfort and control. So it really is efficient. Would like to compare this to like riding a bike with or without suspension. Clearly you are less tired when you are riding with a shock absorber than if you are not. I would say that's pretty much it for that board now.